Hey, super good-tastic morning to you. My name's Fred Weaver. I'm joined by my partner Kevin Kaufman here in a moment. We're Group 4610, Arizona's premier short sale team, and you're watching ShortSalePowerHour.com. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
How are you doing today?
I'm fantastic right now.
Fantastic?
Fantastic.
That's awesome. Okay, so can we tell people why you're so fantastic?
Yes. Oh, wait. Okay. Go back to last Wednesday. First, don't stop watching. Just think mentally back to last Wednesday. We aired an episode on mortgage insurance.
Yes, we did.
And we actually used a very specific example about mortgage insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually, if you go back to Thursday as well, we then had Todd Barton on the show. We talked a little bit about mortgage insurance and investors and how sometimes you got to go straight to them in order to get things done.
We did.
And so, in the mortgage insurance video, I talked about I was in the middle of a battle.
Correct.
Mortgage insurance battle where the mortgage insurance company was asking my borrower for a humongous promissory note and cash contribution.
Yes.
One that was impossible. And I'll be honest, this is one that I've been...
Possible because they didn't have any money. Can I say it that way?
When I say impossible, yeah, because literally...
Nor would it make good financial sense for them because it was a purchase money loan in Arizona.
Purchase money, primary residence,
loan.
Loan only.
Yeah.
You name it all, they qualify for everything.
Yeah.
And so, I've been fighting, kind of going back and forth with these guys at this mortgage insurance company. And I finally got to the COO of the entire company.
COO.
I sent him 2 emails this morning.
Well, if I recall correctly, you asked me this morning, you said, Fred, got any other ideas? I said, well, we can let it foreclose. And you go,
option 1.
Besides that, and I
did say besides that, because that's not ever a good option.
Well, you could email the COO again or find the CEO, right? I mean, I said, I think we literally have to, for a week in a row, email them until you get on their radar.
Yeah.
Now, are we doing that to tick somebody off? No. I just think that somebody else at a higher level at this company, if they were to look at this file, they would recognize that somebody that's making the current decision is making the wrong one.
Right.
And so with that conviction, right? Not a conviction to annoy anybody.
Not at all.
But a conviction that we really felt that this...
hey, you guys are making the wrong choice.
They were making the wrong decision and that somebody below them just didn't know what they were doing.
Yes. And it's funny that you say it that way. So
I say it that way very purposefully, knowing the end of the story now.
Fast forward, I got an email back from the COO of the company saying I'd be contacted today. I responded and said by whom and when. And no, he didn't respond to that email. But what happened is I got a phone call a few hours later from I'd call him a mid-level, higher level manager. I don't want to call him an executive, but he's definitely an upper level management, maybe not an executive level quite, but up there.
Somebody of higher authority than the initial person that you talked to on this account.
Yeah, someone of higher authority than the initial 3 quote-unquote decision makers I spoke to before.
Yeah.
So we're on the phone and we're having a conversation, and to be totally frank, when he got on the phone, he disagreed with me. Right away, also he was going in backing up his employees' decisions.
Yeah.
And so I continued to point a few things out to him, which made him second guess for a second. Once I had him second guessing, what I found is
what did you point out to him, just out of curiosity?
Well, I actually pointed out, I used a different tactic, for one. Number one is I talked about how the actual borrower had no choice in purchasing mortgage insurance. It was none of their... They didn't sign off on mortgage insurance.
This was not private mortgage insurance. Yeah. This was a mortgage insurance policy that was purchased by the investor and the servicer.
And I flat out pointed out that, hey guys, this is not something that the borrower. This is a harmless third party.
Okay. A
third party did not ask for this. Yes, they signed an agreement with the investor. They did not sign an agreement with the mortgage insurance company. And then I went on to talk about. I just spewed out, hey guys, it's a purchase money loan. Primary residence, state of Arizona, this home goes to foreclosure, blah, blah, blah. And he flat out, we talked about if the home goes to foreclosure, nobody wins. And so I already had him agreeing with me there.
Okay, so you got him to agree that nobody wins, meaning that the borrower wasn't going to have a deficiency at foreclosure. The mortgage insurance company was still going to have a $40,000 approximate payout. And
the investor would lose because the investor was
going to lose more money, most likely, because they're not going to sell the home, most likely, for the amount that the offer you have on the table right now.
Right. And so I pointed all that to him, and here's the trick, though. I got him thinking about it, and then I actually got him digging into the file.
Okay, now when you say thinking, I mean, can I kind of say for our viewers that something went off in his head when you started going through all this? He almost went, wait, this is a purchase money owner
He actually said,
occupied?
He said, hold on a second. This is a primary residence? I said, yes, it's a primary residence. well, okay, hold on. And then I could hear him, like, I don't want to say frantically, but I could hear him doing some research at that point.
Urgently doing some things.
And he said, can you hold on a second? I said, sure. And at that point, I'm like, okay, this is obviously going in my direction. I could hear somebody else in the room talking to him, and I asked him to tell me who
I think you gave a little
was.
fist pump. Like, you gave me that look like I got this thing.
Yeah, as soon as I knew he was looking into it, I thought, this is good. This is certainly working on our behavior. Now, what he told me was there was essentially a mistake in the system from an income standpoint, and they actually showed him they thought he made more money than he really does.
Got it.
That's what I was told. I'm not saying he's a liar. I'm not saying it's the truth. That's what I was told. And so eventually,
well, I mean, I'm gonna say this, okay? I'm not assuming what I know, but when I hear there's a mistake on the income, to me that sounds like we didn't really look at it to begin with. So whether he was right or wrong,
to be honest, that's really what it sounded.
Go back to it. It just sounds like we didn't really pay attention.
I overheard him say, "Wow, I guess that's why we don't go off of memory."
And then he got back on the phone, and let's just wrap this up. He said something to you.
Here's something he said to me at the end, and this is the point I want to drive home. The reason I told the whole story is to drive this one point home, guys. He said to me, "You know what, Kevin? I'm sorry. We made a mistake. We should never got to this point. I apologize. Please convey that to the homeowner. I'm apologizing to you. We shouldn't have got to that point." Then he said, quote, "Thank God you are as persistent as you are. Or you were as persistent as you were," end quote. And I said, "You know what, Lewis, I know most people wouldn't say this to you, but that's a compliment. Thank you." And you know what? He said, "You know, we'll wrap this up. I'll have an email to you immediately. I'll have an approval letter to the servicer immediately. I mean, and I'm sorry."
It goes to prove the point that continuing to escalate files isn't just about trying to get somebody different to look at it, although it is, but it also is about...
Well, it took him looking at it because the first three guys who looked at it all saw the same thing. But he goes, "Hold on, I see something different."
Yeah.
And so that's what it's about.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure I don't know what video. In the last few weeks, I shared how, like, I called 3+ weeks in a row to the same guy at Freddie Mac. I think I shared that on a video. Yeah. If not, I was telling it somewhere else. And, like, finally got the guy on the phone I needed to. And even though he wasn't really excited about doing it because it was outside of their guidelines, he agreed that it was a savings over foreclosure. And had I stopped at MetLife's no, and had I stopped at the other people at Freddie Mac's not calling me back and not responding to my emails for 3 weeks, guys, I wouldn't have gotten anywhere. Yeah. So, wrap all this up to say persistence pays off, guys. One of the things that we say a lot in our live classes we teach is the squeaky wheel always gets the grease. Yeah. And the squeaky wheel doesn't have to always be the guy that everybody dislikes. We're not saying that.
No, nobody at MGIC was mad at me. I was certainly direct and straightforward, but nobody was mad at me.
Yeah. But had you stopped at the first 3 no's you got, you'd have never gotten to the place to realize that, you know what, we actually made a mistake. Or maybe we didn't. You know what, Kevin? In looking at this again, you're right. We're gonna go ahead and waive it.
Well, you heard the phone call about 3 weeks ago, so you know where this file.
Oh yeah, was. No, I know where it was and where it ended up today. Yeah. 2 totally different planets.
Squeaky wheels.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed today's episode. Couple announcements for you. First off, I want to mention that yesterday was Labor Day, and most of you were off lounging somewhere, taking a nap, watching football,
but we were laboring
baseball.
For you.
We were laboring for you. In fact, a good buddy of ours, Mark McIntyre, filmed a video with us on Mindset Monday, and if you didn't catch it, you need to go back and watch Mindset Monday from yesterday. Also want to let you know that we've got a couple speaking engagements coming up that are currently on our calendar.
October 12th in Millersville, Maryland. I'll just call it the Baltimore area if you guys will allow.
I think we're already in double-digit registrations, and
we're
like 50 days out. So, I mean, that's already, those registrations are coming in.
And then we are, 2 days later, October 14th, we'll be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Is that on the calendar?
On the calendar officially. We've got a few tiny loose ends to tie up, but we're officially scheduled that day.
Okay, and I'm just going to break the news now. It's not on the calendar, but November 2nd and November 3rd, we are in San Diego on the 2nd and Irvine, California on the 3rd.
It's going to be a blast.
Locations to come, I'm going to say later this week. I'm going to work on that.
All right.
Okay. We're going to wrap it up, Kevin?
Let's do it.
Okay.
1.
Can you let out like one of those victory chants like you did? The viewers at home have no idea.
They have no idea.
How loud you yelled when you got off the phone. Not in anger. How loud in excitement you yelled. It was like a victory, like cheer when you got that mortgage insurance call just a little while ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I scared
you don't have to do it at that level though. Okay. That might scare the rest of the viewers.
All right.
You ready, buddy?
1,
2,
3.
Short Sale Power Hour. Short Sale Power Hour.
Crush it with persistence.